to order. Let's go around and do introductions.
Ryan Yell, current planning.
Sean Odell, current planning.
Sharon Ferguson, current planning.
Elby Gray Jackson.
John Weddleton.
Pete Peterson.
Julia Tucker, City Council. Barbara Jones, Municipal Clerk.
Evan Levinson, public.
Jane Stinson, Public. Leah Levinson, Public.
Hamilton Public, Kim Cole Public,
Terry Miller, Public.
Andy Honest, Clerk's Office.
Okay, thank you. So I wanted to start briefly and let Mandy speak for a little bit to clarify some of the steps of approvals for the marijuana.
So, the clerk's office does the licensing portion of the marijuana license, special land use permit application. So we do slightly different reviews than what most of the meetings you guys have been talking about is heavy on the land use, because that's kind of a big bulky chunk of it. So we review for a lot of finances, taxes, municipal fines, and make sure that everybody is up to date with those. So as just kind of a overview for the three that we have. So first off, you have raspberry roots, and all of the licensing components have been met with them, aside from the taxes, fines, and fees. And that was discussed. She knows what needs to be done, so that one is a library fine. Some of the things that are reviewed are the general restrictions of the license, making sure that they have all of the components in the licensing ordinance, so we go through and do all those. And all of those were met. The second one is Alaskabuds, and they're also good on all their licensing conditions. There were no taxes, fines, or fees. And then thirdly, Enlighten Alaska, they had taxes, fines, and fees due as well. And, this one, was also a library fine. So I haven't heard back yet from either the applicant or, the library, so that will be pending. Other than that, all of the licensing conditions on these three establishments are good.
Okay, thank you. And in our committee meetings, when we look at these, we'll break it out. We'll look at licensing issues and then go to staff and start moving more early. For the record, Mr. Croft and Mr. Evans are here. Mr. Trainer.
On the fines and fees, that does need to be paid before the Tuesday meeting or comes in front of the Senate, okay? Thank you. Thanks, Matthew.
Okay, well, let's look at raspberry roots and staff. Please, Brian, summary.
Yes, essentially I'll read the same summary that I posted to the committee yesterday. The applicant Kim Cole of Raspberry Roots is applying for a special land use permit for marijuana cultivation to total approximately 10,716 square feet of space within an existing industrial use building. The proposed facility is within an I-1 district generally located northwest of the intersection of Raspberry Road and C Street. Ms. Cole obtained a non-conforming determination for the site which addressed the lack of available parking, paving, vehicle turning and maneuvering, a building setback encroachment, and a lack of required landscaping. In order to operate a cultivation operation of the intended size at this location, a substantial electrical upgrade is needed. Ms. Cole has had numerous discussions with Chugach Electric about the necessary upgrade and has a timeline in place for implementation. And the planning department recommends approval of special land use permit subject to the conditions as stated in the staff report. Yesterday we had Phil Steyer present at the committee meeting, and he sort of went into the details of the upgrade, costs associated with it, and timeline in place. We do have a letter that's included in the staff packet that details that the upgrade would take approximately 16 to 20 weeks to get her to be able to utilize the full licensed space. She could start cultivating just at a smaller scale once the license is approved, but her electrical capability at the site would be tripped well if she decided to use that full space.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from family members? Mr. Trainer.
And we're only dealing with cultivation,
Only the cultivation. We do have a retail license that's in the review process
I think
right
it has
now.
nothing at all to do with this. I just wanna keep, everybody's keep in mind, we do have one license in the town.
Correct.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, anything to add?
Nope.
Conditions are all okay?
Yep.
Okay, good.
You mean council meetings last night.
Okay.
Were you and about 30 or 40 people there?
Something like that, yeah.
Now, you're not the one that the minister, they're saying you're too close to its facility.
No, that was a totally different one. Yeah.
The Community and Economic Development Committee recommend moving ahead with the conditions. Just heard on this one. So moving on to Alaskabuds. Kara?
That's for me. Yeah, Alaskabuds is applying for a license, a special land use permit for a marijuana retail sales establishment. It's located on the periphery of downtown in a B3 zoning district. The floor plan, the floor area of the retail store is just under 1,400 square feet. There were some comments from the traffic department on their parking, maneuvering, and circulation, and those sort of things that they have been working on, and they will resubmit to the traffic department and hopefully get all those issues worked out. There was a question yesterday regarding on-street parking on Juneau Street. The aerial photograph showed some cars parking on the what appeared to be the right-of-way, yet there is a sign there, posted there from Greatland and Towing and Rusty's Towing saying that unauthorized vehicles will be impounded at owner's risk and expenses. So I had the opportunity yesterday afternoon to speak with traffic department to find out, if this sign was had any validity or not. And so I met with traffic, and they determined that this parking area is likely in a public right-of-way. And so this sign they have no authority to tow anybody. The only entity that has authority to tow vehicles from a right-of-way is APD. So that issue came up yesterday, and so I had an opportunity to resolve that. So it looks as though cars can park there, and that sign should probably be removed.
Okay, thank you for following up on that.
Through the chair, I would also recommend checking with APD to see if they have a contract with any of those tow companies.
Mhm.
Sometimes they will have areas marked, and it could be a valid contract
Okay.
with APD.
We can do that.
Mr. Training?
Check with Jack Frost too, because he's got a copy of our towing ordinance, and the requirements for a sign to be legal, that they've got the right requirements as far as the person actually owns the property,
Mhm.
and the size of the sign and what's to be written on it, where they can tell anybody. We just did the towing ordinance about a year ago,
Okay.
and not all the towing companies have conformed to it yet.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions or comments? Mr. Planning, Bill or Joe?
I was just gonna say, thanks, Mr. Chairman. This is located directly west of Lucky Wishbone, and Lucky Wishbone has got a parking lot of park 50 or 60 cars, gravel lot. And their lot is usually not full except from about 11 to 2. And so they have talked to the management at Lucky Wishbone, and they have no problem with allowing some of the people's customers from Alaskabuds to park at their parking lot when it's not a peak hour for them.
Any other comments? Millers, any thoughts?
No, we did attend our community council last night. I don't know if it's important or should go in the packet, but they did pass a resolution supporting our new business in that. So I think that's probably.
That is important to us, thank you. Okay, and the Community and Economic Development Committee did recommend that this go forward with the conditions. And we did have a substantial discussion on parking, and it sounds like they were really aware of it, which process is dealing with. All right, thank you.
wait, Enlighten Alaska, Enlighten Alaska.
I'm sorry, it wasn't like.
So Enlighten Alaska is 2600 Spinard. It's gonna be a retail store about just over 2,000 square feet in size. And the slot they're going into was formerly a tattoo parlor, but it's more commonly remembered as this old Speedway Cycles storefront. And they've met with the Smyrna Community Council. They have a written memorandum of understanding. We're fine with that. They meet all the standards. Some of their parking is gonna be addressed when the Spinard Road project comes through there and kinda formalizes the side street parking that exists and some other lots, that are near the retail store. I believe, we didn't have any other conditions other than the standard. They are gonna have to come back and update their non-conforming rights. It was a little bit outdated and it didn't quite address everything that we were looking for, so that's something Jean has said that she'll just come in and they're gonna update that, and that way it'll be in writing.
Any questions from assembly members? And a question on that, so who would the building owner go get the update on non-conforming rights, or is that on there?
We've actually already submitted our application, so.
Because the through the chair, general thing, because the non-conforming rights, attached to the building, it has to be authorized by the building owner, and so the building owner has signed, consent for Jane and Lane Alaska to apply for the building rights.
Good. Okay, good, and the Community Economic Development Committee did have lengthy discussion on parking again there, and, but feel comfortable that they should be able to work it out, and we recommend that this be approved with, conditions and the fund.
It's
Yeah,
already
it's
been
great.
working.
All right, thank you. Any other comments? You guys are comfortable with the conditions? Is that it? Okay.
Mr. Weddleton, through the chair, I have, one other comment, and I believe Mandy passed out a piece of paper for you. Have you passed that out yet? So, one of the things that one of you mentioned, if you wouldn't mind, you've got a couple extra minutes. One of you mentioned something about the process that's happening with these licenses. And so I just wanted to share you this amazing email that Mandy sends to all of the applicants. And it tells them, you know what, it's been approved, but guess what? There's still all these conditions, you still have to do an inspection, you know, and so we just wanted to let you know that we're staying in touch with the applicants, that once you approve this, we're following up and it's not over. So I just thought you might like to take a look at this email that's going to all the applicants, just so that you know it's something behind the scenes that's happening, but we're staying on top of it.
So they can go out and have a great lunch to celebrate, but it's not like somebody.
As you said, Mr. Weddleton.
Okay, good, thank you. It's good to know these steps that we don't see. So okay.
Or would you make sure that Mandy used to come to all the swimming rooms, not the ones that are here, but everybody else on the assembly? So, that would be a question. Thank you.
The thing this points out is that when it comes before the assembly for action, we need to ask that question, you know, and has it all been taken care of? Because some, you know, there's a possibility that comes in after the committee has acted and it doesn't get done. So we need to make sure that we ask that question to staff to make sure that all the conditions are met.
Well, I think the point is, a lot of these conditions will not be taken care of when it comes to us. We say we approve it with the
Can you,
condition.
conditionally?
Mr. Peter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, and so they can actually start doing remodeling on their buildings or whatever, but they will have to meet all the conditions before they're able to pass inspection. Is that correct?
Right, then they have to request an inspection, and then there's another process. Remember, they're actually gonna have a license. They're gonna have a special land use permit and a marijuana license. So they don't get those until after that inspection is done and all of the conditions are met, except the operational conditions, and those are just ongoing. So Right, well, I think till the license is on the wall, they can't